So to start off this cut, we're going to come in with our lever closed on our Stylecraft clippers, and we're going to establish that initial bald line. Now with this line, I want to start right at the top of the arch and then drop it towards the back. And the reason I like to do that with this client specifically is because I don't know if you can tell, but in his crown and in the back of his head naturally is just a lot flatter. So in order to give this a nicer silhouette and more of that squared shape, I drop it in the back just to leave it slightly fuller. Now usually this client does have that area a lot fuller than what it is, but there was a time where I couldn't get him and unfortunately he went to someone else. So now we're going to start that process of, you know, bringing that fullness back. So now I went to the other side and now I'm going to connect those 2 points towards the back there. And then we're going to bald it out. So we're going to come in, my trimmer is R0 gap, and we're going to stop a little below the bottom of that line. Letting the weight of the trimmer do the work. We don't want to cause any irritation or more redness than we need to. So that's what I'm doing right here. So you can tell this is really more of like a tailored haircut, just because since it is dropping in the back and towards the front, it's a little higher. This isn't really, you know, a haircut that you can describe outside of a picture. It's just he kind of gets like a mid fade where he blends out the arches and then just drops it in the back. But, you know, we just tailoring it to his head shape. And you can see already just with the silhouette of that line and how it's sitting on his head, you can tell this blend is about to look super nice. But we're just staying consistent here, just balding them out, taking our time. We're not taking our time, but you know what I'm saying. Not rushing the process. We're moving in with a sense of urgency. Now we're going to come in with our shaver. And with this shaver, I don't want to take it all the way up to the top of that line. What I want to do is stop slightly below that, and that's just so I don't create another line for myself. And same with this, you want to let the weight of the shaver do the work. You don't want to press too hard, because you can already tell this client on the back of his neck is a little more sensitive. And if any of the tools that I use in this video you are interested in purchasing, you can use the Stylecraft link in my bio or my barber plug link in my bio and use code DreClipperhands at checkout, and we got you with a discount. So you'll see we're just trying to get the bottom of it nice and clean so we have a solid foundation to build from. So to start the blending process, we're going to come in with that lever all the way open, and I'm going to come in about a finger's width to establish that next line, and we're going to continue to maintain that drop shape towards the back, so that way, you know, it has a nice, even, consistent look. And you'll see towards the back, I like to slightly leave it a little thicker as far as the width of the guideline, and that's because we have a lot more, you know, surface area and canvas to work with. So I want to make sure that I get it as stretched out as I can, while at the same time keeping it, you know, dropped as well. Shout out to Stylecraft for sending me their new Mr. Cartoon collab Rebels. I think they're super fire. They came with 3 different covers, a blue one, this red one, and then a barber pole design as well. So like I said, if you'd like to purchase these, use the code DreClipperhands at checkout at stylecraft.com, and we're gonna get you right, man. And that is looking super clean. Now to get rid of the line in the middle between that open and the bald, I'm gonna come in closed, and you'll see I'll tap at that line, and then as we move up, I'll go ahead and open up that lever. We're going to continue that towards the back as well, coming in closed and then open it up little by little. And I found, I don't know what it is, some days, you know, it works and sometimes it doesn't. But getting rid of that line initially instead of saving it for last sometimes makes my blends a lot cleaner. But now we're going to move on to our one guard open, and we're going to go up about a finger's width here as well. Real consistent, real clean lines. We're not, you know, trying to be super creative or doing anything different than what you would expect. We're just establishing, you know, nice clean guidelines and blending them out as we go. Still going with that one guard open. And you'll see me go over the guideline multiple times. That's just to make sure that it is truly a one guard open all the way through. And you can see even after going over it multiple times, especially in that area behind the ear, it's just naturally darker. So I'm going to go ahead and close up that one guard and lighten up that line in between just a little bit more. Now for the next step, I'm going to grab my 2 guard with that lever all the way open. And this will be the biggest guard that we are going to use. This should pretty much blend into that length on top. So I'm going to come in with that 2 guard, and my goal here is not to create, you know, a super harsh guideline. It's to come in and blend into the top as best as I can. So I'm coming in with that 2 guard, and when I come off the shape of his head, I'm kind of flaring out as I do so to kind of give it that blended effect. And now we're going to start working down with our 1.5 open. Now that was actually halfway. And then I'm going to close it right here. And I realized very quickly that, you know, going in open with the 1.5 or going in halfway with the 1.5 was not going to do nothing. So I went ahead and closed it all the way. And this should pretty much seamlessly blend into that too. Some people's hair textures are just way thicker. You know, they blend a little better. Or for some people, you know, it's a little harder, but for me, it's a little better when I get to cut someone that has really, you know, thick hair. And now we're moving towards the back, and we're just going to continue to blend down. And now to get rid of that last line, I'm going to grab my half guard with the lever open. And we're just going to attack this line and see what it does. So we'll start off open. And if it isn't really getting rid of it, we'll go ahead and close it little by little until we get that line completely blended. So I know a lot of you guys always ask me, man, Dre, do you have anything, you know, that we can buy to support the channel? Do you have any merch, products? And as of now, I don't. But I've been thinking about dropping some merch here soon. But my goal with the merch is not to like drop some cheesy barber merch that has something to do with barbering. I want to drop something, you know, that anyone can really wear, that's fashionable and can tie back to barbering. So if you guys have any ideas or anything that you'd be willing to wear, go ahead and drop a comment down below, and we can try to brainstorm, make something happen, because I think it's time, right? I think it's time to kind of put something out there for you guys to show support, you know, in real life, not just through likes and comments. And I want to be able to give that to y'all, but I want it to be quality. I want it to be different. And yeah, you know, I want there to be a certain standard with that as well. So go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know any ideas that you guys have, and we're going to try to make it work. So now, since we left off with that 2 guard open, it wasn't, you know, a seamless blend. We're going to come in with some clipper over comb to go ahead and bring everything together. So you'll see right here, I'm using that comb kind of like a guard. And then I have my lever all the way open, and I'm getting rid of any hair sticking out of that comb. And you always want to make sure you come in with that comb and then pull it out slightly away from the head, and that's gonna allow you to, you know, ensure that you don't take off too much hair or more than you wanted. And I find this to be a pretty efficient way to go ahead and detail anything above a 1, just because I believe the clipper against the wall comb specifically is equivalent to a 1 guard. We're just taking our time here, trying to get it super nice and clean. But as you can see, that blend has come together, and now what we're gonna do is really a reverse fade or reverse taper into the beard. So I started off open, and now I'm gonna move on to my 1 guard closed. And I believe this is the biggest guard that we are going to use. And I would take off that 1 guard and use the corners to kind of, you know, clean up that blend a little bit. And now this client, when he styles his hair, he just kind of has the curls fall over his forehead. But we do clean up the corners, so I'm just gonna box it up just lightly, nothing too crazy, just to give it a more clean, masculine look and make his hairline look, you know, a little fuller as well. That blend is looking crazy, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. And now we're gonna get into his facial hair. So the rule of thumb is I almost always take everyone's mustache down to a 1 guard open, and I just think it takes it down to a level that's nice and clean, while at the same time maintaining that, you know, that darkness that a lot of people like. And now we're gonna lower it down his beard just a little bit to that 4 guard to clean up any stragglers. And once we line up this beard, it'll really set it off and give it, you know, that finished look. Same with the other side. And you'll see I'm going over it multiple times just because I want to make sure I get the beard hair nice and even. And now we're going to line up his mustache, man. Nothing too crazy. We just want to get it off of his lip. And then with the top, we do bring it down slightly. We don't want to take it all the way up to his nose. You know, he wants it to be just a little bit thinner. So that's what we're doing here. And then I'm going to clear up some thick hair at the top of the mustache. Top of the beard before we come in with the razor. Now with the razor, all we want to do is get rid of any of those little hairs that the trimmer couldn't quite get down. And bring them right to that line. And if you're doing beard lineups with no razor, you're crazy, because I just feel like you can't get the cleanest line possible. But I'm starting at the top of his beard and then the bottom, and we'll meet those 2 points in the middle. And as you can see, man, that beard is coming to life. It's looking a lot fuller, a lot darker, a lot cleaner. And I'm having him blow a bubble towards the inside there, because sometimes, you know, it tends to be an indentation. And now after we do the top, we're gonna line up the back and the bottom. And this beard will be super clean and finished. And we do it right above the Adam's apple. You know, we're just kind of following the line he already has. So it's pretty simple. And my trimmers are a 0 gap, but not to the point where they can irritate the client's skin. So I do like to do this on the neck area specifically, because a lot of times it feels impossible to get those hairs down to the skin without the razor. But I find this helps, you know, to get it as close as possible. But this cut has come together. I think it looks super clean. Fam, this is all my clients leaving. Alright, if this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, make sure you leave a like and a comment. And like always, I will catch y'all next time. Peace.